So Kelly Ray has informed us that she is stuck at a PED ramp somewhere, and we.
At the corner where that construction is, she can't get through.
So we will wait as long as she's informed us ahead of time.
So is that going to be the precedence? If you inform someone ahead of time, we wait for council meetings?
That's been
Recording in progress.
Hasn't been the history, so I just.
Do we need 4 or do we need 5 votes? We need 4. Well, let's just do it then.
She's across, she's making her way across.
I'm glad that we wait for people. I just want to make sure it's on record that we sets a precedence that we wait for people for our council meetings. Just for the future. You don't want to, big favorites.
Duo two, no matter what.
Right, so
Oh yeah, it's just right here at the corner.
We're waiting for council members now for starting meetings.
Why am I here?
I'm glad. I'm just very empathetic.
She informed us ahead of time.
No, am I cheering?
I just booted everybody down.
Gotcha. Thank you so much.
We will officially begin. Welcome everyone to this special meeting of the Rochester City Council for the singular purpose on this day of adopting the primary election results for Councilmember-at-large, as well as wards 2, 4, and 6. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands,
one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I would ask the clerk or the clerk's representative to call the roll, please.
Councilmember Keen.
here,
Councilmember Bransford is absent. Councilmember Wall.
Here.
Councilmember Kirkpatrick.
Here.
Councilmember Palmer.
Here.
Councilmember Dennis.
Here.
Council President Carlson is absent, and Mayor Norton is fulfilling her statutory duty of being at the county canvassing board at this time.
Thank you. The order of agenda was sent out earlier. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll move to approve the agenda as presented.
Is there a second? Is there any discussion beginning with Mr. Keen?
Nothing to add.
Any discussion at all? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no? No. I mean, there are no no's. All are in favor.
The nose knows.
Then we go to the reports and recommendations to review the canvass of the results of the August 13th, 2024 election for Councilmember-at-large, wards 2, 4, and 6. And we have our clerk here to lead us through a presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Acting President Wall. Thanks, council members. As you already said, we're just here and I've got a couple quick slides just to go through our results. Voter turnout for the primary was pretty low. We had 74,333 registered voters at the beginning of election day. We had 11,566 total votes cast, 277 folks registered at the polls. We took in 2,619 absentee ballots, 10 which were federal office only, and then we, for this election, actually went down 1 to 44 polling locations due to construction at one location, with 635 election judges doing their civic duty for us this time, which was great. So our results, candidates advancing to the November general. You can see that here. Nick Miller and Trip Welch in Ward 2, Kelly Ray, Kirkpatrick, Andrew Friedrichs in 4, Dan During, Mark Schlusner in 6, and then Sean Palmer and Randy Schubring for Councilmember-at-large. That's it, just pretty quick and straightforward. I will just take a quick second to say thank you, of course, to our election judges. And we did have a kind of a big number of people stepping up to be head judges for the first time and taking on a new role, which was closing specialists, which was an amazing help. We had election judges really tidying up at the end of the night at a much better clip. And then, of course, to all of our parks maintenance and public works folks that help us with the setup and putting out signs. They did a great job with signs this time around. Of course, all of our teammates, Olmsted County Elections, and of course, to our team in the clerk's office. So thanks to all of those people.
Thank you. Are there questions for staff members from the council?
Yeah, again, I've done the canvassing board before. I know what our general responsibilities are, but just for the sake, can you talk about the process as far as separation of duties and to make sure that we're validating numbers that have been cross-referenced and
Sure. So thank you for the question, Councilmember Keen, council members. So the process for the sort of checking and cross-checking of these numbers is threefold. At the very end of the night, our head judges and some of their team, they sit down and do what's called a balancing process. So they're printing off their rolls from their tabulators, and then they're sitting down and actually doing a balance with their poll pad information, what the tabulators say. And we were partly due to this closing training focus we had this time. We had all of our judges come in with balanced sheets, which was great. And then once all of that information is brought to the county, they bring in their sticks, which are sealed. The county unseals those. They upload that information. They then compare that information once it's been uploaded to the balance sheets and the printed tapes. And once that is all balanced, then they have like a secondary sort of, I don't know how to explain it exactly. They just kind of switch people around and check it again. And then so it's a 3-check process. And then it goes to their canvassing board and to us. They send me the abstract. As far as the separation of duties goes, I think it's important to note that we don't take any part in the creation, printing of ballots, the counting. We don't own tabulators, nothing. The City of Rochester secures polling locations and hires and pays election judges. And then we work with the county on election day, any and all issues with anything having to do with ballots, counters, anything. Even election day is handled by the county, and their people come out as needed to deal with those types of issues. Though I'll just say we didn't have a lot of issues, or any really.
no, I appreciate the explanation. It's just important for as we accept this, that we know the process. So thank you for that.
Yep. Thank you.
Councilmember Dennis.
All right, I think, yes, the due diligence that has been put through to ensure that these polls are secure and the integrity of the election is wonderful. So just hats off to all those and the election judges and everyone who's been involved with this. My question, I guess, comes from a lot of people who I've connected with who do not have social media connection, or I should say social media, but they have issues with internet, reliability, being able to get information. Is there going to be work in the future to make sure more people know about the primary? Because a lot of people who do not have, let's say, connections to the city, the local news and stuff, did not even know the primary was happening because of, they're, of course, voting in November because it's hyped up with the presidential election. But is there any work being done in the city to make sure that more residents have an awareness of this important election in the middle of the summer?
Thanks for the question, Councilmember Dennis. I don't know if I would characterize it as more work. I would say that social media is probably not our main venue for advertising. We have buses all over the city that had primary advertising on it. Many candidates took out billboards, so I think it would be pretty difficult to drive around town and not see that there was an election coming. We do mailings, we do postcards, we have things posted around City Hall. We're working at events. We're at Thursdays on First. We're at Juneteenth, tabling, registering people, recruiting election judges, doing all of those kind of things, just talking about elections in general. So I think I appreciate your conversations and experience may have revealed that people were not aware, but generally speaking, we are going above and beyond, I would even say what's best practices to make sure that people are aware, and including the use of social media, Facebook, Instagram. I think that's the only two things we actually use. Maybe we have an X account, but I would say we are pretty aggressive about messaging and are probably even amp that up a little bit for November, though people actually, I would say, need less reminding about a general versus a state primary, which doesn't fall on a uniform date like the general does. So
Oh, for sure. I mean, I do feel the November election with the media from national news and everything it's a lot more, going to be more attended. I guess my follow-up question is with mailing. So are you saying that every resident in Rochester received a mailer or something that informed them of the?
no, not this year, because so our obligation is to notify people if we have a change of a voting venue. And we did have one voting venue change in Ward 1, and everybody that was affected by that change received a mailer. But I know, and I guess I can't speak to the city's part on this. I can speak as a resident, knowing that I received half a dozen mailers from various candidates that don't live in my ward, so I would imagine that they're sending them out. But I would, having buses driving around town with it on the side of the bus, seeing that on a daily basis myself, all over town, I would say that we took strong action to make sure that people were aware that they had an opportunity to vote.
Oh, I just want to say, I do acknowledge all the work that was done and I appreciate that. I'm just saying the people who I've talked to in apartments and rentals and people throughout.
Sure, I'm a
they-
renter.
Yeah, and who have not historically voted. I mean, there's a lot of people who, from my experience, who did not receive any notification. So I'm going from my
We'll
experience
always be
and
working.
experiences of people who have come to me, who have volunteered and things. So I just wanted to just say that I think in the future, reaching out to more people, and of course in the summer it's hard, people are on vacations and people have, lived experiences that do not allow them to take time. But yeah, I'm real saddened by the low turnout. I think the numbers of people who vote in the primary do not reflect the numbers who are people who are the wishes of our community. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Keen.
Yeah, again, hearing the discussion, I want to move to adopt a resolution declaring the results of the August 13, 2024 primary election for council member at large, as well as council representatives for wards 2, 4, and 6.
Second.
Is there any discussion, beginning with Mr. Keen?
No, nothing really to add. I appreciate that, this is our responsibility within 3 days of the election to certify the results. I feel confident understanding the process and the separation of duties that this result is accurate, fair and accurate, and I'll moving ahead with approval.
And I would note that the abstract that was sent out to us earlier as well, we have a written copy of the abstract in front of us. Any other discussion?
Councilmember Wall, may I just add a comment to what you just said? And just want it to be clear for the public that that was also distributed to our normal public distribution list at the same time. So at
Terrific.
12:30, that revised agenda with all of this information went out and was published publicly and available. So.
Thanks so much.
Mhm.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. It passes unanimously. Before adjournment, I would say that the city of Rochester is thankful for all candidates who come forward and offer to serve the city of Rochester. And 3 of the people in the abstract this day sit on this dais. Thankful for your leadership over the past years, what you will do in the next months, and perhaps in years, depending upon the November results. So thanks so much. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn?
Second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. It's unanimous. Thanks so much.
If you all could sit tight so I can get your signatures, that'd be great.